Good, what's good? I'm waiting for my brother Claymore Rain to jump in. Waiting for my brother Claymore Rain to jump on in. So a lot of people ask me about this. So I want me and my brother Clay to cook on this. This topic, man, because a lot of people have been asking me about it, which is a lot of people are asking me if they saw the new deal that was done with Ring Magazine and the fact that they only going to acknowledge they're only going to acknowledge the Ring Magazine belt with this new deal. Um, they're not going to recognize the other sanction bodies, right? And a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are disappointed, so on and so forth, right? Um, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, man, you can't get rid of the sanction bodies," right? And I agree. But the thing is, this is Dana White doing this with his league. Not so much of Turki Alashik, because people are putting blame on Turki Alashik, I guess because they work together. Um, but Turki Alashik has respect for the other sanctioning bodies. Um, Maurice, what's up? 8, what's up, family? Turki Alashik has respect for the other sanctioning bodies. The issue is, for one, let me say this, right? The big issue is, Pooh, can you do me a favor? You going back in? No. Oh, never mind. I get it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I was just messing with you, but all right, brother. No, it's. I was just gonna tell you to pass me a fork and my watermelon, but I'll get it. So the issue is, Jermaine Anderson, what's up, family? Shaheem Ali, what's up, family? The sanction body. See, people have. It's amazing to me, right? Is that people complain? Huh? Oh no, I think they're doing some work. Mm. So people complain about, the sanction bodies and the way they do things, and the fact that the sanction bodies are corrupt and are they? Wow. The sanction bodies are corrupt, and the sanction bodies, they don't hold everybody accountable. They man, they are. What is that? Like for Central AC. Instead of putting it in the back because he's renting it. So, so the sanction bodies. Do me a favor, Puda. Turn the light on. Puda, turn the light on. So Yee Huncho, what's up, family? Not Films, what's up, family? So the sanction bodies, people have had Charlene Peace Plus Queen. People have had issues with the sanctioning bodies all this time for years. Issues with the sanctioning bodies and how they do things. And the moment that somebody does something about the sanctioning bodies, all of a sudden we complaining. You can't win. PGH Big Dog, what's up? This is why people in the sport of boxing don't respect. They just don't. They don't respect the fans because the fans can't make up their own mind. On a day-to-day basis, everybody complains about the way the sanction bodies handle things, the corruption with the sanction bodies, the favoritism with the sanction bodies, the unfairness with the sanction bodies. Andre Ward raised the question, as many other fighters, what are they doing with the money and the percentages that they pay, right? And now Dana White comes in, Jalen Peace Plus Queen. Dana White comes in, and Dana White says, hey, we ain't gonna recognize these sanction bodies. And immediately everybody starts crying and complaining. Oh man, how you get rid of sanction bodies? Which one is it? Which one is it? They strip fighters unfairly. They don't hold the same rules for everybody, right? You have situations where when you look at this, David Benavidez was Canelo Alvarez mandatory with the WBC for years and never got his opportunity. The same WBC, Dave Benavidez moves up. In less than 2 weeks of Dmitry Bivol beating Artur Beterbiev, they stripped Dmitry Bivol of the WBC title. Now, where's the equality in that? Where's the fairness? Where's the justice? Where's the explanation? How does that make sense? Pete James, what's up? Cali Award, Peace Plus Queen. How does that make sense? How is that okay? I get it. I'm not saying I don't want the sanctioning bodies to be out the sport of boxing. I want them to be in the sport of boxing. I just want there to be structure. I want Turki Alashik and Dana White to put structure, right? So that we can get equality across the board in every weight class. That's what I want. I'm not interested in the sanction bodies leaving because if the sanction body leaves, that diminishes what Terrence Crawford just achieved, right? It diminishes what fighters like Devin Haney has achieved today, Alexander Usyk, right? The reason Alexander Usyk is viewed, you remove Usyk being undisputed, Dexter Haynes, what's up, family? His accomplishment, it takes a hit. You don't view him the same, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, see you later, baby. So if you remove the titles, Usyk ain't undisputed in two separate weight classes. You see what I'm saying? Sylvester Tom in 2011. What's up, family? So I don't want to remove the sanction bodies. I'm not on board with that idea and that notion. But I am on board with Dana White. I see where Dana White is coming from. He like, bro, who cares about them belts? They doing dirt anyway. And he ain't lying. We all been complaining about them. Again, like I said, in order to satisfy David Benavidez, the WBC, because they didn't do what they were supposed to do when David Benavidez was at 168, right? So now, in return, guess what they do? They try to make it up to him by doing dirt to Dmitry Bivol. So it's just a never-ending cycle. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a never-ending cycle. So you did Bivol dirty. So when Bivol moves up to cruiserweight, you're gonna do the champion at cruiserweight dirty to satisfy Bivol. It's a never-ending cycle. Generational talent. That's what I'm saying. That's where the problem lies, right? There needs to be structure. There needs to be order, right? There needs to be something in place where this can't happen. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Some structure so that way we could be like, hey, bro, this is GG Chair 15. What's up, family? So we can have some idea. Papa Trap 33. What's up, family? So we can have an idea and structure and be like, yo, you know what? okay, this is how the sport operates. You can't do this, you can't do that, right? Hamad the Hermit said, "You want some beef?" What? That guy's lots of it in the refrigerator. Oh, you remember that joint? Where's my brother Clay? I just added him. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. What up, though?
Yeah. Same old, same old. Bro, I'm so interested to get your take on this. I didn't
Uh huh.
see that you was live today.
Nah.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, I ain't see you live or nothing. So
Nah.
I definitely want to get your take and your opinion on this situation with the New Deal what is it
Paramount.
Paramount,
Oh,
and
I'm loving
they
it.
said they only acknowledging the Ring magazine. They're not, the other sanctioned bodies. Because I got my inbox got flooded,
Yeah.
right? Because the person that they gonna highlight, right, Clay, is
Ooh.
Turki Alashik. Not Dana White, not, you know what I'm saying? Immediately it's like, man, Turkey ruining boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, right, 'cause I was saying this before you came on. I was saying that, with the sanction bodies, I don't want them to go away, but I want structure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Order and structure amongst them, right? Some sort of a structure where we can look at these things and we can say, okay, this is how this operates in every weight class at every time frame. You know what I'm saying? If in this timeline you're not doing X, Y, and Z, we know that this is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Structure that we can follow. And I was saying that, we saw the unfairness. So the WBC, and I use them as an example, for all these years didn't do what they were supposed to do with Benavidez at 168.
Right.
And then Benavidez moves up to 75, and to satisfy him and to try and make up
And
for what they
sabotage.
did, they yeah, and try to, they go to 75, and then what do? They do dirt to Dimitri Bivol.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was saying, now, is it going to be a never-ending cycle? Because now Bivol goes to cruiserweight, they're going to do dirt to the WBC champion there to satisfy what they did to him at 175. I mean, at 175. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like, I don't want them to go away because it diminishes the accomplishments of Terrence Crawford right now, right?
Yeah.
Of Alexander Usyk, right? Did they still beat great fighters? Yes, but on top of them beating great fighters, they became undisputed.
Right.
So it
Right.
added to the myth. So if you do away with that, right? You know what I'm saying? One of Henry Armstrong's greatest accomplishments is holding undisputed titles in 3 separate weight classes simultaneously,
Right.
right? If there
Right.
is, now, obviously, that wasn't the 4 belt ever. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
the point of the matter is that the accomplishment itself overall spoke volumes. So if we do away with altogether with all the belts except for the Ring magazine, it just it just tries to erase what happened yesteryear. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want that, but I do want them to apply structure. And I'm not mad at somebody like Dana White, who's a student of the sport of boxing that people don't realize. He just wasn't
Right.
able to get into boxing, right? And then he was able to do this thing with UFC and the mixed martial arts, and but his true love, as everybody says, when you go to UFC museum or whatever it is, you see more boxing archives than you do
Yeah.
UFC
When
things.
you go to their office, right? When you go
Right,
to their to the main office, it's
right,
it's like a boxing memorial, right? Like
right. Because
um.
that's where he wanted. So I get it. I get his frustration, and I get Max Kellerman's frustration when they like, man, the hell with those sanction bodies, man. Them dudes is doing. We've been having complaints. Andre Ward was complaining, right, Clay, when he said, "What are we doing
Yeah.
with the money? They need to show us what they're doing with the money." This is nothing new. It's just that
Right.
people love to, when it's Turkey, then they don't want Turkey in the sport of boxing. They don't want Dana White in the sport of boxing. everything in the past is forgotten. Nah, we don't want that. Nah, they trying to disrespect the sanction body. You've been crying and complaining about the sanction bodies for the last 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And the way they doing business and the unfairness. I mean, Tank Davis Clay, this dude has been the regular champion, elevated to the super champion, and dude done told us 10,000 times he don't even care about belts. And there is no enforcement. There's nothing.
Right.
Just think right now, another thing, right, Clay? Now, maybe I didn't look into this, so I don't know. I'm just going to say this off the top of my head. But Lamont Roach, ain't he still a champion at 130?
There's an argument there to say that he is. You know what I mean? They haven't officially stripped him, and he hasn't vacated. But yeah, that belt is going to be ultimately vacated. But yeah, I mean, as far as the sanctioning body, the WBA sanctioning body stepping in and getting involved in this conversation to move the conversation forward, nothing from them. It'll probably be Lamont Roach. Probably like on the night he fights Isaac Cruz, it'll be officially a vacant belt on that night. But yeah, no, they haven't been involved in it the way you think they should be. You
That's
know what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. So
Right.
and this dude is talking about moving to 140.
Right.
So what are we even waiting for? Just go ahead and be like, okay, bro, we're gonna need that belt.
I think they have an interim champion now. Right now, they have an interim champion in the 130-pound division. They have an interim champion that they plan on elevating. So ultimately, I mean, pretty much the business of the WBA at 130 is kind of squared away. There's a champion there that just hasn't been elevated yet, and then that champion will be defending his title against Ryoto. I can't remember his name, a Japanese dude, one of Turkey's ambassadors, a nasty ass fighter, by the way. I'm embarrassed that I don't know his name because
I
he
know,
really deserves more
I
respect than
know who
that.
you're talking about.
Yeah, he's gonna actually be fighting for that title. I'm probably gonna take that title, to be honest with you. But, bro, what we're talking about right now is evolution, right? We're talking about the
Hold
price.
on 1 second before you go into. Let me get the
Mhm.
super chat. Salute to my brother Chris Legg in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. He said, "Caught me slipping watching Bud and SOG interview. Salute to you,
Yeah,
Blue.
I gotta
Clay
catch
in
that.
chat. Jab that like button. I gotta see that. I didn't see that. I gotta watch it. But
Yeah,
go
me
ahead,
too.
Clay.
I saw it just pop up, the thumbnail pop up about an hour ago. But yeah, what we're talking about is the price of. We're talking about growth. And being that you're in the gym, I'm in the gym right now. You know, I mean, not this moment right now, but I'm in the gym working out. You know, what I mean, I'm hitting milestones, I'm making gains. But what's the price of making these gains? What price are we paying for it? A little pain. We're tearing up some muscles a little bit. You know, what I mean, we're eating properly so that we can recover accordingly, especially in our age.
Mm-hmm.
We're making sure we're very careful with how we're approaching all these things because our injuries aren't like everybody else's, right, Blue? Like, if we
Yeah,
go down, we be down for a minute, right? We down for
yeah.
about 30,
It,
45 days trying
it
to
ain't
get
the
it back
same.
together. So we got to be extra careful, but still, we understand that if we're, and I guess, you know, I'm bringing it full circle, right? But what I'm saying
Right.
is we understand the day you decided that you were going to be in that gym, you had a goal. You said you wanted to get stronger, lose weight, build muscle. You had all these great intentions on why you're doing it. But if you are a smart man, you also factored in the pain that was probably going to be involved in what you're going to do, and you weighed it out. You weighed it out, and you said the price of this is worth it. You know what I mean? Is it going to be cost effective? What I want in the bigger picture, and I bring it back full circle to this sport that we love and the price of this sport getting into the level that we all want this sport to get to. Now, of course, we all would love to just get there without no pain, right? We just would love a level up from one spot directly to the next spot, and we seamless with no pain, right? With no pain at all is what we'd love to have. But the truth of the matter is that's not the way things work, ladies and gentlemen. And we know that deep in our hearts. Most of us in this chat today are well 30 and above, I'm sure. And I would say more importantly, most of us have children, families. We all have sacrifices that we're making for the
Hold on.
bigger.
Hold that
Mhm,
thought right there, Clay.
mhm.
Salute my brother, DJ Ghost in the building, dropping that half a hundo
Salute, go. Is that Ghost
on
the
his.
show with the
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah,
Salute,
yeah, yeah.
family.
Salute my brother, DJ Ghost in the building. What's good with your Ghost?
Yeah,
Salute.
I ain't watch him in a little bit. I kind of, but that's a yeah. I like his show.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what's
my
up.
dude right there, man.
Yeah.
I just seen he got the new bike and all that. Yeah, I'm peeping, Ghost. K different breed. Peace and blessings, Queen. Brother got the motorcycle, man. That joint, that's therapeutic for me, man. I be watching them while I'm in the
Mhm.
gym. Got my headphones on. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Salute, Ghost. Appreciate you, family. Much love. You already know what it is. Go ahead, Clay.
Yes. Family. Yeah. So I was speaking towards the price of growth. And we all know what that means. We all know that means sacrifice, and we all understand that when we're gambling sometimes as well. It's a little bit of a gamble, and you got to bet on yourself at times and bet on the sport. Here's the truth of the matter, Blue. Boxing has been stuck in a rut, not moving. We've shout out to Dana White, who I love what he said when he said the people who've been running this sport for the past couple of years lack vision. They lack vision. They're not innovating. They're not growing the sport. They're not investing back in the sport. They've been taken from the sport. They took away all the free fights. They made them pay-per-view. They did all these different things. They redlined a whole entire generation of boxing fans who you pretty much extorted and said you had to pay crazy amounts of money to watch fights. And you destroy, you ate the muscle, right? You starved the muscle of the protein it needed for it to grow, and actually the muscle deteriorated, right? And people are limping around and fat and out of shape. And our sport is fat, and our sport is out of shape. It's low on activity. So what's the price, and what's the solution? Somebody with vision, somebody who's excited for the sport. It's been a while since we've seen somebody who's really excited and a fan of the sport. We watched Oscar De La Hoya become rich double time, despite what he did in his career, become a richer promoter. And at what cost? When we're looking at his events, the fights are fights. We can be entertained, but where's the innovation? Where's the technology? Where's the production? Where's the marketing? Where are you building fighters at? Your biggest fighters have left you. Canelo Alvarez got up and left. Your biggest fighter, Ryan Garcia, is trying to find a way out. You're constantly getting into it. Anybody who's an actual star or in the making or actually become a star always find a way. Jaime Munguia stepped out to the right. Hey, bro, thank you for what you did for me at this point, but I got to go this way because you're limiting me. You did your best to get in front of Floyd Schofield and making a big fight with Shakur Stevenson to get his name on the map. I don't know what the story is behind Raymond Moratala and Schofield's opportunity becoming an IBF champion. I don't know what the story is. I don't know if that's Schofield's camp or did Oscar De La Hoya get involved and said, not yet, champ. You tried to get in front of Ryan Garcia from getting in the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't need to speak on the PBC because I'm sure a lot of people would take a moment here to say that I'm hating on the PBC, but I'll say that I don't know of a fighter that they signed of any significance since they've left Showtime. I don't know what they've
Don't
been
forget,
building.
he tried to block the
The
Canelo and
Errol Spence,
Floyd.
yeah, and the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
We've watched from the outside looking in as fans. We've watched boxing. I put on my light. We've watched boxing, just be, as far as growth is concerned, stifled, right? Like literally, whenever there's been opportunities, we've watched David Morrell have to take a step forward in his own career and stop them from putting in another fight that meant nothing to him in a Jesse Hart, and he had to put his foot forward and say, "Nah, give me David Morrell." And every time we watch these fighters step up and do something, the boxing grows, the muscle gets triggered, right? Because we get excited, but they never respond to that. The promoters of today never respond to the fans' reaction to the biggest fights being made. So then now Turki Alashik from the outside, as a fan, looks at the sport and says, this sport used to be a great sport. I remember the Roberto Duran day, the Larry Holmes day, the Lennox Lewis days, these days when I loved boxing. What happened to boxing? Oh, it's money, right, Blue? It's money. We can't pay the fighters. We can't do this. We can't do that. Oh, I can help with that. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia said, tap into the PIF fund, man. Get boxing where it needs to be. We're in the midst of trying to build up Saudi Arabia. We want to make it a major hub for sports. Go ahead and get at the sport. So he goes on a 1.5 to 2 year reign of putting together some of the biggest fights that we know as fans, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, we know we would have never have seen if the money that Turki Alashik, if the events, if the platform that Turki Alashik created with the likes of Eddie Hearns and Frank Warren and bringing together promoters and erasing across the street politics and all those things, if all those things didn't get stimulated by some money from a Turki Alashik or some outside source of money that saw boxing in a different way, we wouldn't have seen what we've seen today. So now we have Dana White about to kick off TKO and Zufa Boxing in 2026. You already see that Paramount, a network that would never give a deal to Top Rank, was never going to give a deal to PBC. As soon as they saw Dana White get involved in it, why did they get involved in it? Because Dana White has a history of making money for his investors. He has history of taking something from taking nothing into making into something. And people can go ahead and criticize Dana White and say that there are fighters out there who are complaining about pay and complaining about not being treated a certain way. But I've heard too many complaints about Oscar De La Hoya. Canelo Alvarez can't even stand on the same stage with Oscar De La Hoya without double, triple the security being up there because he wants to take this dude's head off his shoulders for money games and politics that have been played with his career. Ryan Garcia spares no chance of getting on social media and letting the world know that Oscar De La Hoya is a piece of human waste, right? We see Edgar Berlanga getting at Oscar De La Hoya, calling him a scumbag. We've seen Conor McGregor get on the stage and call Steven Espinoza a greasy piece of human waste. We've seen a lot of our promoters that we've known here in America catch a lot of criticism from the fighters who have fought underneath their banners, bro. This is not the beginning of something new. This is a continuation of something that's always been there. But as a boxing fan, Blue, I always ask my fellow boxing fans, as much as we like to be scholars and very educated on the business of boxing and understanding of how these guys are moving millions of dollars from one place to another place, I always say, as a boxing fan, just make sure that whatever you're fighting for is aligned with what benefits you as a boxing fan, as far as what we see, because that's what we're here to do, is we're here to watch great fights. And I know a lot of people hate when I bring it up, but we're here to legitimately watch legacy, bro. When we saw Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight, that's what we're here to do as boxing fans, not to see, all due respect, Jake Paul fight Gervonta Tank Davis. So will there be growing pains? Of course there are going to be growing pains. But what is Dana White doing when he's acknowledging that I'm no longer acknowledging any of these sanction bodies? He's letting you know that I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm putting my foot down. I'm doing what a lot of you guys have been crying about for years, but you ain't got the balls to do it. Oh, I know it's a horrible thing because I'm Dana White and I come from a mixed martial arts background, and I've been your sport's mortal enemy for the past 20 plus years. I get the story, but the reality is I've been given a job to do. I've been given an assignment. I've been hired to do a job. I didn't buy boxing. I'm not buying boxing. I've been given a job to do. And the job is to bring boxing back to its glory, to make champions again. We respect the unified champions, Blue. We respect the unified undisputed champions. But as a boxing fan, we know how frustrating it is to see 4 champions in the same division and they never going to fight each other. They're never going to unify. These guys get on stages and they call themselves champions. Well, who is the champion? Everybody can be a champion then, because at this point, we might as well pass around participation medals, right? We might as well give everybody a belt. You get a belt. You get a belt. You get a belt. Because you know why? You guys are all warriors and you all deserve to be celebrated. You all deserve to be, you guys are in this sport and you're putting your life on the line for us. All you guys there should be a belt in every single fight that is done in boxing. Of course, that's ludicrous. Of course, I'm being cynical and I'm being a little sarcastic right now. But there's a whole saying, a whole Creole saying, and I'll say it in Creole and I'll translate it in English. My wife always says it. She goes, "Genen fois pour féminin, le fini boire de l'eau sentient." Right? And what that means is sometimes you got to close your nose and drink the stank water, because the price of growth sometimes requires you to sacrifice. So we're going to watch Dana White make his moves. We're going to agree with some of them. We're going to disagree with some of them. But I believe, personally, what we're going to see is boxing grow when it's all said and done. When the smoke is all cleared, boxing is going to be bigger than it's ever been. We're going to have new stars created, new legends created. We're going to have new things for fans to bite their teeth into if you're looking to have your boxing appetite satiated. I believe boxing benefits at the end of the day. And Dana spoke towards the Muhammad Ali Act and said, I'm not changing anything in the Muhammad Ali Act. I'm adding some things to it because just like anything, like our Constitution that we live by as Americans, however you want to look at it. I know some people are, if you're proud to be American, you are. If you're not, that's on you. It's whatever, right? But the Constitution has had amendments that continue to get added to it regularly. You know what I'm saying? Things get better as we become more knowledgeable, as we become more knowing in our current space, and we understand how things are, we remove certain things, we add certain things, we do what we need to do to make sure that whatever the laws are that are governing us represent the times that we're in. That we're not trying to live in medieval times when we're this close to being like the Jetsons, flying all around the place, right? So things are going to change and things are going to move forward. And it's gonna wrinkle, it's gonna ruffle some feathers, it's gonna do all those things, right? But at the end of the day, I think when it comes down to me as a boxing fan, and I would ask boxing fans to ask themselves what they're looking for to happen. But for me personally, what it means to me, Blue, is growth. It's growth, bro. It's what we do every day in the gym, Blue. It's what we're doing every day, bro. Push-ups, pull-ups, eating whatever you're eating right now. It's called growth, baby. I'm sure you'd rather a nice pepperoni pizza from your favorite Italian spot right now. I'm sure you'd like to do a lot of things right now, right? But nah, what's the price? What are you trying to go? What's the end goal? Justifies what you got in your mouth right now. Pause. You know what I'm saying? It justifies what you're doing every single day. And I think that's what we're looking at happening in boxing, bro. And I'm excited, bro. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited for the sport. Blue, it's a great time to be a boxing content creator. It's a awesome time to be a boxing content creator, man. And that's why I stand on it.
Now this super chat, this Clay got to read this because I don't know what he said. Salute to Lima 926.
Fais ça pour faire, mais gain les mots. Ouais. Fais ça pour faire. Do what you got to do, man. Gain les. Mais de où? Mou. Da où? Hold on. Fais ça pour faire. Do what you got to do. Mais de gain. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, put some balls on you. Do what you gotta do. Put some basically grab your balls. You know what I'm saying? Be a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Grab your balls. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah,
I wish I could speak multiple languages, man. That's
shout out
so
to the
dope.
Libra.
That's so
But
dope, man.
Libra, I don't read Creole as well as I should, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I think I pretty much got it. But you let me know
No,
if
he
I'm
said, yep. He said, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to the Libra, man.
Salute to Farrell, brother in the super chat. He said, dude, Clay is cooking right now. Facts.
Salute, literary.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
Because,
They can't stop it, Blue, and Blue, they can't stop it. And it's a laughing situation at this point because when
and they shouldn't want to stop it.
me and you as content creators and what we've been talking about for the past year and a half, we're more than up. Like,
Right.
it's a legitimate sweep. It's a blowout. You know,
Right.
wine ages beautiful with time. It's
Right.
call us out and say things about us when we're calling it, when we got to wait. Sometimes I always knew that me and you was going to have to wait because we were speaking into the future and that
Right.
they were going to look as good as they were going to look while they were saying what they were saying in their present moment when they had their face of boxing and Canelo and all these different things. And we were just sitting back like, bro, a change is coming, brother.
Right.
There's no stopping this wave. You said it a long time ago. Ain't no stopping this wave. What Turkey's coming through is, you ain't stopping it.
Right.
Because you ain't got the money to do it. You ain't got the staying power. You ain't got the vision. Shout out to Dana White, who also said that. He said at the end of the day, it ain't about competing with you guys. You know who I'm competing with? NFL football.
Right.
Major League Baseball. NBA basketball. I ain't competing with Matchroom or Gold.
My own people.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's the thing, right, Clay? And that's what I was saying. Like, what people didn't realize is that the other promoters are getting on board. They may paint a picture like they're not, but they are getting on board. All this time, Oscar can be disgruntled all he wants, but every time you turn around, he working with Turkey.
Yeah.
We see the PBC, quote unquote, they ain't going over there. But every event that Turkey puts on, there's PBC fighters on this event.
Right.
Because you cannot stop what's the strongest force on earth is water.
Right. Oh man, talk about it. And
right?
That's what this is. That's a great way you're going with. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
Straight
you
up.
cannot stop what's coming. But
It's
what
going to
you
get
can
in
do is
cranny, break down every human structure that's ever been made. The strongest structure in the world, water, wins 10 out of 10
every
times,
time.
bro.
It wins every single time, right?
Yeah.
Now, what water will allow you to do, right, is misdirected.
Right.
It will
Right.
cooperate with you if you cooperate with it.
Right.
Meaning Turkey will work with you and cooperate if you want to take this route, right? Like we got the dams and all of these things and the oceans and we control, right?
Yep.
Get out of pocket with the ocean and it will get out of pocket with us and it's over
That's a
and it
fact.
won't cooperate. So therefore, like he said on Boys in the Hood, man, you don't see this underlined body over here? Yeah, I know he there, but he ain't messing with me, and I ain't messing with him.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
And Clay, we all know the ocean is there, and we know what the
Yep.
ocean can do if it get upset.
There's a
But
reason why 90% of the earth is water, bro.
water,
We occupy where we're allowed to occupy, and we stay out the lane of what we ain't supposed to occupy. That's why there's part
exactly.
of the ocean that we still haven't explored.
Right,
The ocean is very similar to space. I think we've explored a very small percentage of it, like
right,
20 to 30% of it. Like there's a part of the ocean, the pressure is just unforgiving. We have no equipment that we've invented to get down there. We can't survive it. We just respect it for what it is.
right. Because it don't want to cooperate. Don't want you
Period.
there.
Period.
Don't want us there. Period. We'll allow you to do certain things and have
Yeah.
certain fun. We will cooperate. But that's it. That's all. It's just like you said with space,
Yeah.
right? We have never, Clay, and maybe I'm ignorant to this, but Clay, we right now it's a beautiful night. I could
Right.
look up and I could see them stars. I know
Right.
the stars is there, but
Right.
Clay, I've never seen a star up close.
Nope.
I've never
Nope.
seen a picture of a star up close. Nothing, but we see
Nothing.
it every time. And the funny part about it is, you get in the airplane 10,000 feet up and you got no closer.
No closer.
It still looked the same distance when you on the airplane as
Period.
it does when you when you on ground.
On the ground, looking through it. Then I mean, there's certain things that are just you need to learn to work with it or around it. You can't do but so much with it, you
Right,
know. And in a movement like this that's happening right now, you got a lot of scared people, Blue. You got a lot of people who just shown that their fear is crazy, bro. The way their minds work is just, I don't understand as a boxing fan why you wouldn't.
be,
If
be,
anything, why
because
aren't you screaming on these? Why aren't y'all screaming on Oscar, on Al, on?
because you know what it is.
Why
You know
y'all
what it
letting this
is.
happen?
You know what it is, Clay. It's human nature, right? And I always say these three things, and I tell my wife this, I tell my kids that, I tell everybody this, right? The strongest thing in human nature is comfortability, being comfortable,
Right.
right? And being comfortable is stronger than love, right? If you comfortable in a situation you know you shouldn't be in, right? Let's say you in a relationship you know you shouldn't be in, you know you love this other person, but you are familiar. That's
Right.
the other thing, familiarity, right?
Mhm.
Familiarity and comfort. You know what to expect for tomorrow. People
Mhm.
don't like change, Clay. We don't. The reason people fear being unalive or passing away, Clay, is
You
because
don't
you
know where
just
to
don't
go.
know what to expect
Right.
on the other side. If there even is an other side,
Right.
right? You don't know what to expect. That's why people fear it, because you
Facts.
don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And this is a similar situation. See, they have comfort abuse, if that's even a thing, right?
Right.
They understand that these sanctioned bodies, we know what to expect. We understand the abuse, the level of abuse that these sanctioned bodies is going to give us. That these promoters and managers, we know what they're going to give us. We know what to expect because we've been living in it so long. That it's no longer, it don't even hurt anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now change comes, and this is a whole different. It could be all the way great, or it could be a whole different level of hurt, and you
Right.
don't know. And that's
Right.
what people fear. They fear, how Nas said, people hate what they can't conquer and fear what they don't understand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why people are not getting on board with this. But people like me and yourself, who live a life that we are comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the
Right.
difference.
Bet on yourself. Really
Right.
taking the
The,
chance
the people that accept this are the people that you can tell in real life are comfortable being uncomfortable.
because they
You know what
know
I'm saying?
they like to lay with the devil they know.
Right.
They like to they say there's issues. There's all issues, but I know what these issues are, and they scared
I know
of
what to
new issues.
expect. Exactly.
Right.
See, it's like I get up every day. Today I did 700 push-ups.
Mm,
But I when I got up, I didn't feel like doing anything.
right.
I was dreading it, right? And so I said, you know what? I'm dreading it. I know a routine. I usually start with my push-up bars and my diamonds, then my incline, then my decline, right? A routine. So I just reversed the whole routine.
Right.
I started doing what I normally
You
do
usually close
last.
with what
Yeah,
you close with,
I
and you close
started
with
with
what you
that
open with.
and
Yeah.
reversed and had to challenge my body because my body got used to that routine. I could have went through the motions.
Right.
I could have just went right through the motions. So I usually typically do 400 push-ups, then I do 200 push-ups with my pull-ups. Then I do my last set of 100 push-ups or so with my dips, 100 dips. So I did no pull-ups and no dips. I did all push-ups. Then I did my dips and my pull-ups together
Mhm.
and change the routine. Then I usually get on the stairmaster, and then I do the treadmill. So what I did was I did the treadmill with the weighted vest,
Mhm.
right? And then I did the stairmaster with a heavier weighted vest because
Right.
I didn't want to do anything which would allow me to be comfortable. And I felt much better when I was done. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because now in my brain I was like, I achieved something I did not want to do today. You know what I'm
Mr.
saying?
McNasty said 700 straight blue.
No, 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 not 700 straight. No, I break it up into sets. I break it
I
up
mean,
into sets.
clearly, if you did 700, that'd be what's up. But I don't know nobody
Yeah,
doing
no,
that.
I did. So
So what you say?
I do 100 regular push-ups,
Mm,
standard push-ups. I do 100 diamonds. I do 100 incline. I do 100 decline. I do 100 incline, 100 decline. Oh, I do. Then I do 100 um, decline diamonds and 100 decline regular grip. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Then I do that with the regular with the weighted vest on. So I
Mm,
do 700 in total, right? But I have a routine. I can get up and go through it like a robot.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's no growth. I can sit down and say I did my routine, but there's no growth, like you was just speaking to earlier, right?
There's
Because
yeah.
I just went through the motions. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So I broke it all up. You know what I'm saying? And typically I do my chin ups with it. No, I did no chin ups, just all straight pull ups. Salute to my brother Muscle Up Kev. We motivate each other. You know what I'm
no
saying?
doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
And so just speaking to what you were saying about growth, you know what I mean? I
Right.
feel much better today. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't. I could have got lazy. I could have said, Clay, man, because yesterday I did 800 push-ups, right? Because when I went to do uh uh uh, uh I did I did abs, and I was like, man, I just felt, you feel good, had my music
Felt
playing.
motivated. You felt
I
like
felt
going in.
motivated.
Feel
Yeah,
like going in.
I just bust out an extra 100 bunnies, you know what I'm saying? And so today I could have been like, man, I'm gonna skip it because I did 800 yesterday. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
no. You know what I'm saying? No, no, I'm not gonna do it. And when I get off here, I'm gonna do my legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's leg day, the dreaded leg day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But that's why but it just goes to show that people like myself and you and the people here in the chat, we are comfortable being uncomfortable. Therefore, we're not afraid of change.
Not at all. I'm
Not at all.
excited for change.
We accept Clay. We seen this and we like, bro. I seen it and I'm excited. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And again, like I said, do I want to do away with the sanction bodies? No.
Yeah, I don't think this is about doing away either. I think this is about keeping everybody honest. I think
Right.
that's one. I always compare it to the free market in restaurants, right? But this goes across the board, man. Competition makes everybody better. You
Right.
know what I mean? Competition is what makes the dancing partners needed. Clearly, there's been a monopoly on the sport. These promotional companies have been in cahoots with each other, in agreement with each other with how they're going to move. I mean, we just literally watched Shakur Stevenson confront Steven Espinosa on Sway's Universe, right?
Right.
And he said, "Listen, Shakur had an opportunity, and he took his opportunity to communicate. Like, yo, explain to me what I got to do to make a fight. Has Tank been asking for me?"
Right.
Steven Espinosa says Tank has asked to fight you multiple times. So
Right.
if Tank is sitting over there with the PBC and asking for Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson is not only asking for it whether he's with Bob Arum or whether he's with Eddie Hearn, but he's asking for it in your face right now. Why hasn't the fight happened?
Right.
Now, we can go into all different areas as to why the fight's not happening, but I think there's a consistent. These promoters, the politics of the sport, seem to always end up on the side that doesn't benefit the fan, right? It never comes full circle to the fan. Now, what you have with Dana White, however you want to look at it, and I mean, like I said before, I don't care what nobody thinks, and like I genuinely don't, because if you feel like whatever, bro, that's what up, right? We don't need to get that deep into it. But I'm gonna say to you is this: Dana White has a track record of delivering to the fans what the fans want to see. That's why the UFC is where it's at. However you think, if you think he's robbing the fighters to do it, if you, hey man, go into it how you see fit. What I can tell you is, as far as a relationship with the fans, it's A1 with Dana White. Dana White has given the fans champions. He's given the fans the number one fighting number two, the number three fighting the number four. He's given the fans structure. He's given the fans something they can count on. They know what to expect. When they see one guy beat one guy, they know pretty much how to gauge where he's going next. They've given the fans what fans need to be fans of a sport. If he's bringing that over into boxing, I'm here for it. The fighters can fight for their money. They can negotiate. They can do all the things that they've been doing for years as their jobs. We'll never be aware of what they're fighting for, and we don't need to be, because we don't spend it with them, so I don't care how you make it. It's time for the fans of the sport to be selfish to a certain degree. Be selfish and ask for what you want. Get the best fights, get the best product, and let the fighters deal with what they got to deal with. Because remember one thing for sure, two things for certain: nobody's bending these fighters' arms, putting a gun to their head, doing nothing to make them work with Dana White. There's always an opportunity and option to continue to go ahead and move forward with your Oscar De La Hoyas, your Bob Arums, your Al Haymans, whatever it is that suits your fancy. Nobody's breaking any fighter's arms to work with Dana White. The ones who work with Dana White are doing it of their own free will, and they find a benefit in it for themselves to do so. The same thing as the UFC fighters who have fought with UFC, because there's PFL, there's been Bellator, there's been WEC, there's been all these different entities and platforms that have been put there for mixed martial arts. But for some reason, one way or another, whether it's Pride, wherever it is, over ocean, wherever it is, one fighting, whatever it's called, one FC, whatever it's called, at the end of the day, all these fighters seem to find their way back home to Dana. So he's doing something right for those fighters, however you may look at it. You know what I'm saying? However you wanna look at it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm a boxing fan, and I believe we benefit with this deal. The boxing fan does, and the fighters can figure out what's going to benefit them and be wherever they want to be. Ultimately, what it looks like Dana has presented is that the Zufa boxing is going to be some sort of a tournament style type of league, where fighters are going to be fighting to become champions. They're going to recognize the Ring Magazine ranking structure. When these fighters make it big enough to where they're bigger than the Zufa boxing business model, they'll be able to translate very easily into the Ring Magazine Riyadh season model, which participates in the sanctioning bodies with the WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, and whatever else. Ring Magazine is also acknowledged over there, and these guys' career will move forward accordingly. And what's going to happen, if you ask me, is we're going to have more stars. We're going to have better fighters come out. Don't forget that also what comes with Dana White's program is also a strength and conditioning system, a nutrition system, facilities or high-level technology where these fighters can develop. And any fighter who fights for Zufa boxing more than likely is not going to have to work anymore. More than likely are going to be able to become full-time athletes, who are making at a minimum $100,000+ a year, and the highest version of them will be making 750,000 to $1 million plus a year, being active also, which means they're going to become better fighters. They're not going to be fighting once a year, twice a year. They'll be fighting 2, 3, 4 times a year. They'll be getting better. We're going to watch development. We're going to see a lot of better champions, and everybody who you think is the best will find out, because they're going to ultimately be confronted with people who also think they're the best, and we'll find out. And we get great entertainment, stylistically fun fights to watch, and I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Salute to Lebanon do 6 brother back in the super chat. He said Clay got it. I was going off the sync thing. Cook. Salute, family. My brother Ron Toro in the super chat dropping that half a dub on this in the super chat. He said Clay 100. When Floyd Mayweather can make Tim Duncan's career salary in one night, boxing could easily be the pinnacle of the sport if ran properly. It's strange people prefer corruption. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 1,000% strange. The black
They
the
cut
black
their nose off to spite their face, boo. You know what I'm
yeah
saying?
yeah.
Like, they cut their nose off because they think that knocking Dana White coming in and Turkey coming in shaking Ish up is going to do anything else but continue to allow these needle movers in the boxing space to move the way they've been moving. They have no incentive at all to give us anything. Look
Well,
at, I mean,
the
bro,
thing
you
is
watch the
this.
Gold
It's the thing
fights,
is this,
the
right, Clay?
promotion is horrible.
The thing is this, right, Clay, is that they ain't boxing fans. We boxing fans. There's the difference. The Black Underground brother in super chat. He said, "What up, Blue? And my black family. I love y'all. Salute to you, family. Much love, family. Love you too." Clay, they're not boxing fans. That's the difference. See, me and you are boxing fans. These are fans of boxers.
Sometimes
And
I don't even know
what
what
it
they're
does
fans
is
of. I don't even know if they're fans of that. Sometimes I really don't even know what it really is at the end of the day. I don't know if it's the boxer or the promotional company, or if it's just like, if they even know what they're fans of, because I don't understand, you know what I mean, like where the end goal is. What's the end goal for the protest? Like, where are we going with this? Where are
what,
we going with this?
and that's what I think it is. I think it's just chaos. They just like chaos, right? So they claim that. I mean, history has told us this, right, Clay? You said you like knockout artists. Deontay Wilder knocks everybody out, and then they complain that he can't box.
Right, right,
Terrence Crawford gets knockouts and can box, and they said he don't sell.
right,
Devin Haney and Shakur are just pure boxers that outbox everybody, but they boring because they don't get knockouts.
right,
So Terrence Crawford gives us both the best of both worlds. He's not appreciated. Well, he ain't got no personality, right?
right.
They like chaos and corruption, right? They love Terrence Crawford. I mean, excuse me, Tank Davis, because he presents chaos in his personal life.
Right.
So therefore, people could look at him and say, "Oh, see, he just like me." It gives them an excuse, right? When the thing with Canelo is that Canelo is Mexican and don't speak and just start speaking English, so it's like he kind of get a pass.
But he cussing a lot. You know, we love some cussing here in
Yeah,
America,
yeah,
so
he gonna give you that chaos. He gonna give you some
so
bulletin, right?
yeah, we
Payday.
gonna
You want payday? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, bro.
He gonna do
Shout out to
things like that.
Canelo.
But he's been able to escape because his Mexican roots and things of that nature, right? But here in America, we can't. There's no winning. You got Caleb Plant, right?
Uh-huh.
Caleb Plant is Caucasian and a pure boxer, ain't got a highlight reel knockout, right?
Uh-huh.
But people still find something wrong with that dude.
Yeah.
We are just not happy because Clay, we have options. And when I say options, we have NFL,
Right.
NBA, NCAA. I mean, I just watched the Penn State Oregon game, and they
Hmm.
had 117,000 people there.
Yeah.
Clay, take this into consideration. That's double of what Canelo and Terrence Crawford had.
Exactly. And what Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford had is quadruple what your favorite fighter's biggest show has had.
Right.
Or at least 3 times. Maybe you
Right.
feel like I'm at least 3 times.
Right. So take these, you know what I'm saying? So boxing fans here are never ever satisfied. Never.
And we
And
lack. Dana White said something that was significant, bro. The vision thing. We lack vision, bro. As a community, we lack vision. Like we don't. Can you? How do you see things getting bigger and better without change? Why when change is coming, just because your favorite promoter isn't pushing the change, you'd rather stay still and watch the world make boxing bigger and allow your little. You rather control 100% of damn near nothing than have 10% of something worth billions of dollars. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how intelligent are you? Like, we can sit here right now, right, and say, you know what? I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but here's where I'm at with it, right? I can have 100% of a boxing channel that's making $2,000 a month, right? Or I can have 10% of a boxing channel that's making $1 million a month. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
right.
bro, what is money in, money out? What are we doing here?
Right.
Are we elevating? Are we getting bigger, brother? If you can invest in something else with the money you're making and make something else that's yours and continue to grow, but in the spirit of growth, in the spirit of evolution, what are you willing to sacrifice, compromise, concede on business wise in order to see your brand grow continuously? Would you rather stifle your growth and stay small and be proud of owning your small little concept? Or would you rather grow, elevate, add more concepts, become more rich, generate wealth, take care of your grandchildren's 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 grandchildren, be etched in the history of your bloodline as the one who laid the foundation to every bit of comfort that everybody who's connected to you has? Or do you just want to be some headstrong, stubborn, small-minded thinking, no vision having, stubborn ass person? And I think that's what it comes down to. And what you're looking at is a boxing space that is very low on vision, bro. They don't have it. They don't see the big picture. They don't look at 70,000 plus people packed inside of an arena in America to watch a new undisputed champion be crowned, who's taking a risk to go up multiple weight classes and do something that the world is dying to see. They don't have no pride and no nationalism in that. They rather tear that down and say,
Right.
yeah, Turkey doing this, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. They rather complain and they don't want to celebrate that and take ownership of that as something that as a country we've come together and we represent that. We did that.
Exactly.
The vision is low, man. No vision.
Right. It's no vision, man. It's nasty. It's nasty, Clay. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, I'm excited about it. I'm excited for what can be, what will be. Obviously, like we said, it's water. You know what I'm saying? So whatever's gonna be is gonna be.
It
Uh,
is. And that's another
uh,
thing too, right, Blue? Stop thinking y'all stopping something.
right. You're not stopping anything. You might as well because all you're gonna do is just make yourself look like a fool. In
Like
reality,
right now.
yeah. Because at the end of the day, Turkey is going to uh, uh, um, push forward. And another thing is, right? Country Q, Deuce 5, what's up, family? Tip O'Malley, what's up? B. Tyler Rankins, what's up, family? Another thing is that why are people quick to blame Turkey? Hey, man, look what Turkey doing. Just quick
Blue,
to, it's Turkey, man.
who's
Turkey
not
getting rid
saying
of
that?
all the sanction bodies, Blue. Turkey getting rid of all the sanction bodies, Blue. Look what he's doing. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Bro, I was talking to, I forget, I think I was talking to Ray today. Ray, my brother, frequent. And I was telling him that I love the fact that it's like you have a job, right? It's like they hire you, right, to come into a business that clearly needs your help. They hire Blue to be like the manager of some sort of production, right? And now everybody's complaining like, yo, this new Blue about to come in here and do this and do that. But all y'all was getting ready to be unemployed and have no damn job, bro. Blue's been brought in to save the company that you work for. You all know that in the next 6 months to a year, your company hasn't been doing well. Your sales have been going in the wrong direction. Your production has been going in the wrong direction. Everything has been going in the wrong direction, and you know that eventually it was going to land on you. That a lot of y'all, and you've watched a lot of your friends lose their jobs and become unemployed. And they hire Blue to come in and do the job, and everybody's against Blue because they think you're the one who's going to make the company go down. News, the company's going down.
It was
This
already
man's been
going down.
save the company if he can. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's here. How can I take on the issues that have been here for decades at this point in your sport, and all of a sudden everything wrong with your sport is because me, that I'm coming to the sport? Now all of a sudden I'm the reason?
Right.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, they can't, Clay. You know what I'm saying? It's just diabolical, man. It's just
How you gonna
diabolical.
Turkey, Dana, and Nick Khan? How you gonna say that he's ruining the sport? How? How,
Right.
Sway? How is he ruining the sport? What is he doing? Is he overpaying fighters? And you know something else I love to hear him say, bro? Turkey doing the same thing Al Heyman did.
Right.
This ain't nothing new, but you guys celebrate Al Heyman. You think he's the best thing since sliced bread for boxing. You admit that Turkey's, according to you guys, doing the same exact thing, you know what I'm saying, that Al Heyman did, but what he's doing is diabolical.
Right. It's ridiculous, man. It's 1,000% utterly ridiculous, right? And people don't even look into things. They immediately said it's Turkey Turkey wants to do away with all the sanctions. Turkey don't want to do away with the sanction bodies.
Not at all.
Not at all.
The man just financed the WBC Grand Prix that's in December, I believe, is going to be the semifinals. He literally financed it.
Right. He has no interest in doing away with the sanction bodies. He's just trying to create. He's just carving out his own niche in the sport.
He's what he's doing. I'm telling you, Blue, and like I said, vision, bro. Turkey has taken into consideration what it's going to take. He's creating the new generation and era of boxing, bro. He's come out with a farm system, He come up with a B league for boxers to come in and be able to be developed, make money. Make money, more importantly, because what you guys don't understand is you think all these boxers are millionaires. You guys think all these boxers are sitting out here making king ransom purses. And you're not acknowledging that somebody like Josh Padley had to jump off of a roof like, they need me to come and fight a Shakur Stevenson. So he's providing these guys with a lane for them to get better, grow in front of a huge audience, production. He's making stars so that we don't have to continue to watch Alexander Usyk fight Tyson Fury for a fourth time, or watch a 40-year-old, you know what I'm saying, damn near 40-year-old Terrence Crawford fight a 35-plus-year-old Canelo Alvarez. He wants to bring in the new generation of fighters because we don't have enough of them. He's trying to build something so that Abdullah Mason has people to clip. Shushu Carrington has people to clip. Keyshawn has people to clip. Shakur has people to clip or to clip them. He's creating an environment for these fighters to be able to have a career so that we're not sitting there begging Lomachenko to fight with a broken back. So we don't got to watch Manny Pacquiao come and beat the brakes off of Mario Barrios. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to watch Mike Tyson come back and fight a Jake Paul in order to get eyes on the sport. He's trying to build the sport from the ground up. If you just sit back and look at it and ask yourself, if the only issue is that Turkey's the one doing it, why aren't you applying the pressure to your favorite promoters to do the same? Why hasn't Oscar De La Hoya, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, why haven't they come together and helped Mauricio Suleiman put a Grand Prix together? Why haven't they made these tournaments that are going to develop new fighters? Why isn't Carmel Moten on television fighting right now? Why do I got to watch some YouTube replay of him fighting in front of 20 people, you know what I'm saying, to see him? Why is he not being developed? Why is he not being, why aren't the people that manage him putting him on the biggest stages? Why? Because he's not going to become a star overnight. Yeah, maybe he might because Mayweather will co-sign him like he did Javante. Maybe he'll help him through. But we can't continue to just have 5 to 10 mega stars holding the whole sport down. We're just waiting on the tip of our seats for these guys to announce a fight once a year. We're waiting for Canelo Alvarez to come around in May or September whenever his fights are coming up. We have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So man is being intelligent, and he also has people who are super intelligent next to him, like the Dana Whites and the Nick Khans, the people who push big athletic productions like the WWE, whether you like it or you don't. The people are huge. It's ridiculous how big the WWE is when we're talking about sports entertainment. Or the UFC, 7 point something billion dollars Paramount has handed to him to continue with the UFC. Just because you don't watch it don't mean it's not happening. That thing is huge. So how do we build something like that? How do we get a budget like that, $7.7 billion, without a nice, healthy, what do they call it? With the horses, stable, without a healthy size stable of talented fighters who are delivering nonstop action for a boxing space that will just eat it up and just satiate a boxing fan's appetite for nonstop competitive fights. You have to build it. And you can't continue to do it with the people who are in there now because they've already been conditioned to operate the way they've been operating. So some of them might come over, but Brian Norman Jr. ain't coming to Zufa. Shakur Stevenson ain't coming to Zufa. You know what I mean? None of these guys are coming to, none of your big stars. David Benavidez ain't coming to Zufa. Gervonta Tank Davis, right, ain't going nowhere, right? But he definitely ain't coming to Zufa. These guys already have built themselves up to a point where they can make, they're established. So we have to build another generation of fighters who are going to come in and fill in the spots to make it make sense to have 3 fights on every other week like we used to have on Tuesday night fights. It has to start somewhere. And once again, if Turkey is the issue, my thing is, where is the argument for Oscar De La Hoya? Why are you not pressing him in these press conferences and saying what you're doing ain't enough? No. Shut that ish up, bro. It ain't enough. It's not enough, bro. It ain't never been enough. You suck money. You take these big paydays and you give us nothing. And every time we think we might have a fight, you getting away with it and you stop it. I don't know what happened in Riyadh season when it came to Floyd Schofield fighting Shakur. I don't know what happened out there. I know that Oscar De La Hoya was dead set against it from day one. I don't know what happened with Floyd Schofield and Raymond Moritala and why he's fighting Jojo Diaz, a fighter who just started to show life again after he had a competitive fight that he lost against Regis Prograis to fight Floyd Schofield when Floyd Schofield had Raymond Moritala on the line to fight, and he could have fought Lucas Body. 2 different fights that would have been great, better fight. Why are we watching him fight Jojo Diaz? I don't know, but it always happens with you. But you know where we don't see it? With Turkey. You know what we see with Turkey? Lester Martinez versus Christian Mbili. That's what we see when we see Turkey. We see Brandon Adams versus Serhii Bohachuk. We see Dmitry Bivol against Artur Beterbiev. We see Alexander Usyk against Tyson Fury. That's what we see. We see David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. We see Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. That's what we see when Turkey's putting events out. We don't see these weak-ass fights. Shout out to all those guys. Sebastian Fedor and Keith Thurman, I'm sorry if you don't like it. I watch I watch it. But what do you want me to do? You want me to do backflips and do cartwheels down the street and tell you this is a fight I've been looking to see my whole entire life? Brother, stop playing with me, bro. That right there goes right next to me calling men women and women men, bro. I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to watch it because I'm a boxing fan. But how desperate has boxing become to where we have to watch Gervonta Tank Davis fight Jake Paul? And there's a legitimate argument there to say that Gervonta might need to do this to help save the PBC. Are you kidding me? So you telling me Gervonta fighting Jake Paul is here to save boxing, not Gervonta fighting Shakur Stevenson? You get to where you got to get past the silliness of this nonsense that they keep feeding you guys. You got to, even the fans of these so-called fighters that they love, y'all got to stop. Y'all should stop. Y'all clearly don't have to do nothing. You clearly have the freedom to be morons. Clearly, nobody can stop you from doing that. But I would say you should take into consideration at some point, this sport has to mean more to you than celebrating one man or one fake BS narrative or whatever have you that you're doing. At some point, hopefully before it's too late, we say, you know what? Bro, we need to make sure boxing gets back on point. So if Al's not going to do it, if Oscar De La Hoya is not going to do it, then if it has to be Dana White, then that's what it has to be. At least the man has a tried, true track record for building up brands called the UFC. And does he have fighters crying about it? Yes. Let's go ahead and call all of the Golden Boy fighters. Ask Ryan Garcia if he thinks Oscar De La Hoya is here to save boxing.
Right, and just like he got fighters crying about in the UFC, there's bosses crying about the promoters and the managers and everybody in the PBC in the boxing world. It's just like Tank was just up there complaining about the PBC. He just didn't want to say it. Like you said, Ryan Garcia complaining. Ryan Garcia, Canelo, Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder. They all complained about Golden Boy Promotions. Shakur was complaining about Top Rank. Terrence Crawford was complaining about Top Rank. Floyd Mayweather bought his way out of Top Rank because he was complaining about it. The list goes on and on and on, right? We just seen Chris Eubanks Jr. go on a tangent to the promoters in the UK. They ain't even got nothing to do with the States.
Destroying them all.
Right. It's
Frank
just
Warren, these people are threatening to sue him because he won't stop telling the world that this game is diabolical. These dudes are trash. This
right,
guy right here, trash. That
right,
guy over the other side, trash.
right,
Oh, who's trash? You're trash.
right,
Matt Warren, you're trash. Frank Warren, you're trash. Ben
right,
Shalom, you're all right, but you kind of trash.
right,
They Turkey Alashik because he's making it worthwhile for real fighters to get money.
right.
What did we stop listening when they started saying something and all of a sudden Dana White's become the end all be all for villain tree inside combat sports?
Right. All of a sudden Dana White don't pay nobody. Man, stop, man. These dudes is ripping boxes off left and right. So let's get on out of here, man, Clay.
For sure. Salute to everybody in the building, man. It's been a great build. Boxing is in a great space. I watched a content creator the other day. I'm not going to say his name, okay? I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to do that. But he's somebody who deals with the lower classes of weights, like the Asian community, like the monster Inoue, the 126 and lower weight classes. And this man got up on there and said, boxing is dead right now. There's nothing going on in boxing. He said, normally this time of the year, boxing is getting ready to really go off. And he said, there's nothing to talk about in boxing. And I looked at that dude, somebody who I have some respect for. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. And I said, is your head underneath a rock? November and October and December are fin to be lit. What are you talking about? Tell me Boots is about to fight with an undercard. Sebastian Fundora, Keith Thurman, they about to fight with an undercard that includes Oshaki Foster and Steve Fulton. Virgil Ortiz is about to fight with an undercard. We're going into the following month. Nevin Haney and Brian Norman Jr., David Benavidez are about to fight. Chris Eubank and Conor Benn are about to fight again. Monster Inoue is about to fight again. It just shows you how much hate in somebody's heart can literally change their eyes of what they see. It can literally make them see something red and be like, that's blue, and you can't tell them nothing. Blue. That man literally said there's nothing going on in boxing.
Yep. It's nasty work, Clay. It's again, boxing is the Wild Wild West.
Crypto Chris hit on the nail. Yeah.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe when he said
it. It's the Wild Wild West, right? And when I say it's the Wild Wild West, Clay, that imagine Sunday comes and I say, man, ain't no good games on the NFL this week. It would just look so diabolical. You understand what I'm saying?
It would make me say, "Are you a fan of football?"
Right. And if I say, "Hey,"
on at the same time.
Right. If I say, "Hey, bro, man, on Saturday ain't no real college football games on." What? Maybe you don't know the depth of college football.
Facts.
Every week, every Saturday ain't gonna be Alabama and Georgia.
Right.
Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Miami. That ain't gonna be every Saturday. But you're gonna get good games if you're a real college football fan. And if you're not, see, boxing, Clay, that's just why I keep saying this. Boxing allows spaces for people to say diabolical, ignorant things. You cannot say Clay, you will have nobody watching you if you sat on and refer to yourself as a journalist or a reporter or anything regarding college football, and you sit there and say, "Ain't no college football happening on Saturday." There
Yeah.
won't be nobody watching you.
Right.
But boxing, people will watch you and be like, "Yeah, man, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, you right." You see what I'm saying?
The
You can
arrogance.
get the, you can feed the ignorance and the diabolicalness in boxing. You can't do that in no other sport. That's why these people are in this. I follow NFL channels. I'm a big college football fan. I love college football more than boxing and more than NFL, right? I love the 49ers more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Any other sport. But as far as the sport itself, I'm a big college football fan. I
Hmm.
love I love waking up and watching kickoff, noon kickoff, all of these things early in the morning, and then watching games 12 o'clock. I love the atmosphere of college football. I love it. I've been loving it since I was in junior high school.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm a Florida State fan. But it just you're not allowed for foolishness in those spaces.
Right.
And maybe it's because those spaces have a bit of finalized, right?
Well, there's
There's nothing.
structure to it. There's structure to it, and it makes sense. So
Mhm.
I mean, structure make a big difference, boo. It does,
Right.
bro. Like without structure, it's easy to dismiss
Hmm.
and say some things are really important and other things aren't important. When there's structure, there's none of that, right? There's a certain amount of games in a season for college football, NFL football, basketball, all these different things. We understand that inside that window and opportunity of what we call a season, you've been given an opportunity to hit a certain rank, and this is going to make a big difference on who goes to the playoffs and who gets into the bowls and who goes into the finals, who does all these different things that ultimately culminate at the end of something structured. We know that we're going to have a champion. We know who's going to be the best. Well, everything is important. But when you got four different sanctioning bodies, and each one of those sanctioning bodies have like 4 or 5 different belts underneath each weight class, and they're able to let people be champions in recess or interim champions, or they let people hold on to belts for 2 years and don't even fight at all. Shout out to Jamal Charlo and things of that nature. When you have something lawless like this, it's easy to dismiss a portion of boxing and say this ain't boxing. That's what that dude did. What he did was, I don't care about these divisions. I don't care about what Turki Alashik is doing. So, as far as I'm concerned, what I care about isn't happening. So, there's nothing going on in boxing. There's nothing I'm concerned about. I don't care about David Benavidez fighting Anthony Yarde because he doesn't represent what I'm here to represent. As far as whether it's top rank, whether it's I don't know what it is he represents, right? But that's what he's doing. Maybe he's a top rank. That's probably who he is because I know top rank runs a lot of those lightweights overseas. Maybe he sees that there's not that many of those fights coming along. So as far as he's concerned, boxing is dead. But it's because there's no structure to the sport. There's no
Hmm.
structure to the sport. So he
Hmm.
sits there and dismisses, 12 different
Yeah,
boxing events that are coming up and says nothing is going on.
yeah, and he'll have followers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because people are looking to do that. By the way, it's way easier to follow nothing than to follow something for a lot of people. What I mean by that is it's way easier for the conversation to be about Tank Davis fighting Lamont Roach than to talk about all the boxing that's happened from that time till now. To keep up, you know what I'm trying to say? To keep up with all of the boxing that happened since they fought back in March till now, to keep up and shout out because I seen the content creator also say that he's not watching all the fights and I'm not going through all that. That's ridiculous. And so it's easier to keep up with a rotation of about 5 to 10 fighters and what they're doing than to sit here and follow what Najee Lopez is doing or follow what Raul Garcia just did against Emiliano Moreno, or watch OTX, or watch what's going on between the fights that are coming up with Pro Box as far as like Tiger Johnson and Nicholas Klaus and all these other fights that are coming up. It's hard to keep up with all that. You got to be a real boxing fan to do. I got to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's easier to dismiss everything because if you dismiss everything, then people don't come on your channel asking you about shit because you've convinced them not to watch the shit. right? Could you imagine being a boxing channel and I come up on your channel and you're covering boxing and and I'm asking you, hey, yo, man, did you see Raul Garcia and Emiliano Moreno fight the other night? That was a fight of the year candidate, bro. What do you think about those guys, man? 154, man. That's gonna be crazy watching those guys come up. What are you gonna say to them? You're gonna go, I don't watch those guys, man. Who those guys? Anyway, so Shakur Stevenson went at, you know what I'm saying? So that's what happens. It becomes easier for these creators to manage that traffic and continue to keep their channels moving forward because they don't have no responsibility. What they do is they dismiss and they discredit boxing at the same time, selling a narrative that they're championing boxing, that they're championing it, but at the same time they're dismissing it. They're making what's not happening underneath the banner they represents the end all be all to boxing. It is what it is.
Yep. Well, let's get on out of here, great brother.
Zoos, everybody. I didn't put my link in the channel because we're on the phone, and I could figure it out, but I don't want to. So look up Claymore. Look up Claymore Rain. It's very easy. The way it's spelled, you know how it's spelled. Subscribe if you haven't done it. Appreciate you guys. I'm thinking about going live tomorrow potentially. I think about going live early. So yeah, man. You know what I mean? Salute to all you guys, man. Until the next one. Thank you, Blue.
Yes, sir. You already know. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. It's me and your boy Claymore Rain. We out. Salute. Peace.